It's Dave Lawrence, and I'm thrilled to welcome back a gifted guitarist, songwriter, performer, vocalist, multi-instrumentalist who is truly an irreplaceable musical force. We've been fortunate to speak with him many times. Today we catch up with him in the midst of an exciting tour, many upcoming dates on it, and some that have recently happened, including a taping at the legendary Apollo Theater Friday, where he had a remarkable experience. We'll hear about that, plus the latest offerings at his official website and much more. It's my honor to welcome back an essential solo artist and member of Bruce Springsteen and the E Street Band, Nils Lofgren. Aloha, Nils.
Aloha, Dave. How you doing?
Hey, mahalo for talking to me again. I appreciate it, man.
You got it.
How's things been out there? A really special thing that you've just gotten to do, the spectacle taping, and I was hoping to hear something about your experience there.
Well, it's always been a great fan of Elvis Costello, and of course Bruce too. And it was great that Bruce found some time, picked a date that worked, and at the last minute he asked me and Roy Bittan to come along and just kind of sit in with the Imposters, just to cover some of the territory. And of course it's an interview show, and as a musician and a great writer, Elvis has a look into it and probably got some great questions off of Bruce and get some insights into his writing
Sure.
techniques and psyche, and just it's kind of like a living room chat mixed with some great music with the Imposters, and it was a great night. We went at it for hours, and there was a great studio audience, and what Elvis will decide to incorporate down into the hour show. I mean, they've got enough ammunition for a lot more than that, but I know traditionally the shows are an hour, but I expect it'll be a great show, and he got a lot of good stuff to work with.
Elvis Costello is such a talented guy, and you played with the Imposters too, just by yourself, right?
Well, basically, I guess there's an old song of mine. Elvis asked me to sing "Like Rain" from the first Grin record with
Right.
the Imposters, so I kind of like a warm up for the Bruce and Elvis segment. Elvis came out and did a great version of Point Blank with the Imposters, and then I came out and did my song "Like Rain," and there was quite a bit of music all through the night, but I don't know if they want me to give that all away. So
Last time we spoke, you were gearing up for something incredible, sort of like the way you are now with your Giant Stadium run. And so it's interesting because it's like a parallel, but with giant gigs. You're about to do 5 nights at Giant Stadium, but on the front end of the tour, the last time we talked, your very next gig was going to be the Super Bowl. How did that go? Can you share some memories of what it was like to be there?
yeah, it was actually very exciting. Of course, being from Arizona for 13 years with my wife Amy, it was a bittersweet ending because our Cardinals really could have won, and they didn't. So that was that was rough to take that loss. But the experience itself, we were there for 4 days. Had a great time, just kind of rehearsing, building up to it, and being a great observer, watching Bruce liaison with the NFL and all that goes with producing a show like that, and just the logistics too of 40 separate little stages being run out and tied together and within 2-3 minutes, so that we could get on it and play. It was very ambitious logistically to put on a big band like that and that quickly. So it was great. It was a lot of fun. Of course, I just had my 2 new hips in, so I was glad it was a 12-minute show because I wasn't ready for a 3-hour run yet. But it's been almost 11 months now since I had both my hips replaced. They're doing great. We've been doing some great shows on the road. I think our best shows ever, a lot of improv. And I think Bruce just announced that we're going to be playing some of his fine albums in their entirety too on different nights at the Giant Stadium run. So it's a great week coming up. Couple weeks. We're coming to the last 2 months of the tour. Amy's going to head back with me and at least go through all the Giant Stadium shows. So it's an exciting run coming up, and we got some great shows in Philly and other places in the East up till Thanksgiving to finish up the tour.
Yeah, I was going to, but after asking about the Super Bowl, I had always, I had known the last thing that you had done just before we had chatted was this hip replacement, the guy who was known for trampolining in rock, one of the few guys, I might say, Nils, huh? So it's fitting that, you would have put some wear and tear on your body. It's great.
Yeah, I think all the jumping off drum risers and doing my backflip while I played the guitar off the mini tramp since 1969. And also to this week actually is 41 years on the road for me. I started in '68 in September, so it's been a long run, and I'm thrilled to be, despite the new body parts, as healthy and durable as I'm feeling right now. Knock on wood, and it's just been great. I never would have been that greedy 41 years ago to expect 41 years later to be around and in a band of this caliber, feeling good and feeling like I'm still getting better at it. So looking forward to the remainder of the shows, and also it's kind of exciting that I'll get home and get to spend time at home with my family, and then dust off my own writing and see what comes out of me next for another solo project of my own next year.
Oh, that'll be very exciting, and I know it's been something that you've kind of, one of the things I've watched over the last year is kind of the progression of new songs coming into your life via that whole Stump the Band segment, which is remarkable for a fan. What is that like, having to come up with, some of my favorites have been London Calling, My Generation, Like a Rolling Stone, I See Satisfaction now. What's that like from the inside, Nils?
Well, we've all recognized that as a bar band, even though we were in different bar bands, we all went through that era in the '60s where there was absolutely nothing you wanted musically that was available unless you learned how to play live in front of people. There was no video, there was no choreography, there was just, nothing you could do musically if you didn't first learn how to perform. And so it was great because we all learned how to perform, back. All the club work was usually, 5 or 6 sets a night, 45 on, 10 off, that kind of thing. And it really was a great learning ground for improv, playing different songs, adapting, being spontaneous. And Bruce, as a band leader, did the same thing. So between the history of the band and our awareness of all those great songs from earlier times, 50s, 60s, everything.
Sure.
We also have the advantage of technology. It's kind of like old school meets new school. And Bruce will see a sign or something, and he'll throw it at the teleprompter guys, and they got to find the lyrics on the internet while we're talking through how to play the thing, what key to do it in, how the verse goes, how the chorus goes. Between 10 of us, we usually remember sections and help each other and make a rough roadmap of something while they're finding the lyrics, and literally within 30 seconds we've got an idea how to present a song we've never played together.
Wow.
And that in front of an audience on the fly is not something anybody's doing out there. And I think in the spirit of it, with the energy and the history of the E Street Band and Bruce, it works, and it's quite a challenging, fun thing to know you're going to get hit with night after night, in addition to the normal surprises from Bruce with his own songs that you can't stay on top of 300 songs. So
right.
We help each other out with hand signals, and we have a sense of humor about it, but there is a power to the band and a deliberate intensity that listen, if Bruce wants to do it and we put our heads together for half a minute or so, there's pretty much nothing we can't present in a might be a raw fashion, but it certainly be an emotional fashion and musically sound.
A half a minute, though, Nils. That literally is the kind of spontaneity that no one is doing out there. Just listen to that. I mean, as a musician, you have to know how singular that is as a presentation that's being done for folks on the road.
Well, and we just kind of accidentally stumbled into it last year on tour, I think, with the sign thing. And I think, too, just as Bruce continues to maintain his health and his creativity, and the band's still there playing great, I think you challenge yourself. And this just was kind of, I think, an accidental thing that with the signs in the stadiums in particular, he just fell into bringing up 30, 40 signs and rifling through them like a pile on stage, much like the college kid trying to find the one clean shirt in the dirty laundry pile. And, we all start hovering around and trying to keep an eye on what the sign is, and then quickly run to our station, figure out an instrument. We're yelling at each other about, how did the bridge go, how did the verse go, and between 10 of us, and we got 2 great singers join the band this year for this tour, Curtis and Cindy. Usually, we can have a memory of every section between the 12 of us. We'll remind each other of what we don't know individually, and within, half a minute or so, we're ready to present the song. It's quite entertaining and quite challenging.
Is there ever a time when your love of the accordion is something that connects you even closer to Bruce? Is it something that he kind of relishes having as at his disposal? Can you talk about how that has been an instrument? Because I introduced you as a multi-instrumentalist, and you truly are, and that's one of the unique things that you bring to a band as a flavor.
Well, Danny Federici, who we lost last year, sadly, and Roy Bitton, our fabulous piano player, and I all started on the accordion. So Charlie Giordano, who's playing the heck out of the organ and is great guy to have in the band, also plays accordion. So the E Street Band remains, I think, one of the only rock bands with 3 accordion players. And occasionally Bruce will trot all 3 of us out. When we went to Europe this year, we started in Sweden, and my dad's from Sweden, and by 6 years old I was playing all the old country Italian songs and Swedish folk songs for my grandparents, because my mom's Sicilian. And so I suggested maybe the 3 of us learn one of the Swedish folk songs and play it somewhere in the show. And of course Bruce always has different ideas than us and edits them as he sees fit, and he came up with the idea, since a lot of times in Scandinavia the sun's out till midnight and you're walking on stage, and it's a little anticlimactic because it's sun's burning outside. It's not like the dark night of the indoor thing. He said, why don't you go out alone and play the folk song and we'll walk on stage to it. And I did that in Sweden. It went over great. And then we're going to Norway. I thought, well, it's another Scandinavian country. I don't want them to feel slighted, so I learned a folk song for Norway. Then I thought I was done. But Bruce, kept saying, what do you got? I said, what do you mean? He said, well, what do you got for tonight? I realized that he liked the bit, and he really wasn't burdened with my Swedish roots and me thinking I was retiring after Sweden, and became a new R&D part of my life day to day to research a song for every city, work it up, find the music, and be able to play it on the accordion by showtime. It was a whole other job I didn't realize I was creating for myself, but that's the chance you take when you present Bruce with an idea. He may like it and tweak it.
And it became such a powerful bit. Well, I just think it showcases you, as the artist that you are yourself. NilsLofgren.com. People can really get a better taste of all of the individual efforts, and certainly your latest download up there, If I Should Fall Behind. Why did you choose? Was it really those people's wedding only that caused the recording of that, or?
Well, basically, it's a song I fell in love with. Bruce took from me for a drive in the Hollywood Hills when he was making Lucky Town and Human Touch. He played me both albums before they came out. And of course, there were many great songs, but that one in particular hit me. And I've been singing it in my own shows for years. Basically, dear friend Mark Rothbaum, Willie Nelson's manager, was getting married, asked me if I'd do an acoustic version for his wedding, which he played at his wedding, and I just thought, it's such a great song, why not offer it as a free download? And there's another Neil Young version from put out an acoustic record of me singing Neil Young songs acoustically called The Loner.
Great record.
And there was an experimental version of Like a Hurricane, where with my loop station live, I did a 9-minute jam version to myself. You loop the rhythm in the middle of the song and then go off an improv lead, and it turned out to be a really long piece. It felt great. So there's quite a few free downloads at NilsLofgren.com. I've got my beginner's guitar school, which students are signing up for. It's kind of like between the accordion and some early guitar lessons with great teachers before I went out on my own and just kind of self-taught. I did have some great teachers for a few months. Learned a lot. I have a great idea how to coach people how to study music and learn guitar, and try to keep it enjoyable. So my beginner's guitar school has hour-long lessons. You can take them as you need them, but it's really for the person who feels like so many times people say, I have no talent, I have no rhythm, I'm not allowed to play guitar for fun. And that's simply not true. But you do need to enjoy it, and a lot of teachers don't coach enough enjoyment into the lessons to keep the student engaged. You wind up losing people and they get frustrated. So the point of my school is while we're doing the hard stuff, make sure to do the enjoyable stuff and show people things to do with one finger that feel like music and sound like music. You can play along with me on the lessons, and that way you spend more time doing the fun stuff, working the hard, frustrating work as you see fit, but keep the process enjoyable and inspired. And a lot of teachers don't do that. And so that's the theme of my beginner's guitar school at nilslofgren.com.
And you're up to number 8, right? That's what I was just...
Yeah, I'm trying to get number 9 done tonight or tomorrow. I owe everyone another lesson. But once I get off the tour at Thanksgiving, I'll have a lot more time to really... I plan on doing it indefinitely. So there's 8 one-hour lessons. There's, I think, 7-hour lessons in the intermediate school if you're a player. The last one was a massive 3.5-hour lesson on the Because the Night solo, which is this epic piece I've worked out on. I take a solo in Because the Night. And that's now a long lesson at the intermediate school. But it's all good stuff. There's a 7-minute free crash course. If you're not sure it's for you, check out that. It's free.
That's a great taster course, right, for someone who just wants to get an idea.
Yeah, just to get a feel for what the intention of the beginner's school, which is, look, you got to balance learning with having fun, and you don't need talent or rhythm to have fun. And you can do it right away. And that's the theme of the school. And so let's, temper having fun, err on the side of having too much fun, and work in the hard, frustrating stuff as you see fit, but don't lose the student through any demands on hard work that turn them off, which happens a lot. And everyone's busy, with kids, parents, animals, crazy bosses, unemployment, and the world's crazy. So the point of this is let's enjoy the gift of music out of the gate, not punish you for a year before you can do anything that's fun, and that's the theme of it.
Yeah, I like that. You've always taught that these lessons really are the kind of thing where someone who does not have to be an expert at all, someone who really is a fan of your music or a fan of just rock in general, they may not even have to be super into your tunes, but you can do it in an approachable way. They can really easily learn. nilslofgren.com is where, and that's a cool thing to do, to learn from a guy like yourself who can make it easy.
Again, I'm still learning myself. I'm still teaching myself, and I've picked up a lot of tips, and I've recognized I see students getting frustrated and turned off, and I recognize there's no reason for that. And so that's the theme of this school is let's enjoy this process. It's not a race. It's a journey, and you should be able to enjoy it along the way with a good teacher, and I'm hoping to be that person.
You're an animal. nilslofgren.com, and folks can look up his lessons. I think it's really cool. Plus, the downloads are there. Heaven's Rain, the Clive Cussler, that one's there. The Like a Hurricane, If I Should Fall Behind. It's nice that you offer that, Nils. It's really cool that you throw out all the jams for people to grab.
Yeah, well, there's plenty of stuff there. You can, check the store out. We got a lot of my records, and there's a lot of stuff you can purchase also. But it's good to have a bunch of free music there. And actually, there's another song, a great old song, "Wonderful World." That one of the first things I taped up in my basement about 12, 13 years ago when I was dating my wife Amy, and it's the great old Sam Cooke song, "What a Wonderful World It Could Be." That's a free download too. So it's good to have some free music out there for people surfing around that may not have any money to commit yet, but want to hear something new and just get a taste of what I'm about at my website.
And the taste of the loner, though, the Like a Hurricane's cool because then that's a very cool record where Nils does a take on all these Neil Young tracks, and you can sample some of that there.
Yeah, it's been exciting thanks to technology. Even though I'm very not computer minded, I have some great people, Dick and Linda Bangham, running the website. Mary Pruitt out of New Jersey is helping too with MySpace and all that stuff. And just help me interface with the planet really through the website. I haven't had a record deal in 15 years, and I'm not looking for one. The music business is too kind of political and crazy for me at this point. It's nice to have my freedom, just do whatever I feel like, and as long as I feel strongly about it and proud of it, I can share it through the website. Which is a great thing.
It's cool, too. People can get a taste of records, be able to make a purchase there. Nils has a lot of material available, and I'm sure I leave you with this. You have, obviously, the rest of this tour coming up. I'm very excited, Nils. It's been many years. I've wanted to see the E Street Band or any kind of version of Bruce, really. I've never seen you live, and I am going to both Madison Square Garden shows.
Yeah, that's fabulous. I think it's a great spot to see us. I think the band's in the best shape we've ever been on stage, and it's pretty extraordinary. And I mean, mainly thanks to Bruce and maintaining his level of health and passion for what he does. But off stage, it's like a friggin' MASH unit with heating pads and ice packs, and trainers and masseuse, and we're just desperately trying to keep our acts together. But once we hit the stage, we're really on fire and roaring, and I think you'll love it.
And that's a good place, right, for me to be catching it.
Couldn't pick a better spot. It'll be fabulous.
See, that's what I'm talking about. I like that kind of endorsement. And you had mentioned these upcoming giant dates, how they may feature some full records in their entirety.
Yeah, I think they're going to announce, I think night 1 will be playing Born to Run, night 2 Darkness, night 3 Born in USA, night 4 Born to Run, night 5 Born in USA. That's the rough layout, I think, that Bruce's management proffered. That they may tweak it a bit, but those 3 records probably will be. I mean, the show is about 3 hours long, so that'll be 1 hour of the 3 each night.
Right.
A classic record performed. I think that's the rough layout. I mean, things change all the time, but I know Bruce just decided to commit to doing an album every show, which will be great.
And is there any talk of that sort of behavior occurring again at the MSG dates?
No, the only other date they announced in Nashville.
Okay.
We'll be playing the entire Born to Run record. However, we do play a lot of great songs from that album every night anyway. So it's, personally, I think it's a great touch. Personally, I think the band's spectacular, and I don't think it makes the night any better. I think there's no bad show that you can catch us at. We don't do bad shows. They're all very inspired, and the set list may have a special meaning to someone to hear those records in order, which is fine, but it doesn't diminish any of the other shows at all.
I always like being in a great venue, too. For me, it's part of it. It's just the thrill of being. I love Madison Square Garden. I like being in that room,
Yeah, it's got a lot of history, and, just being in a crazy, beautiful town like New York and all its history. And, listen, it's pretty much the backyard for Bruce and the E Street Band. So we're excited. We got a great run of shows coming up in the East, and those will be some of the, hopefully the most memorable ones in those places.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing it, and then obviously you'll have a break after that, and I expect new Nils material to be showing up in short order once you've had time to mellow out.
Yeah, I'm excited to get back to writing a batch of songs and seeing what I come up with. And again, it's not a race, but it's my next big project, and I wind up coming back to my own music really kind of batteries recharged and a bit excited and refreshed after a great couple years out with the E Street Band.
Yeah, and then you do solo tours, which are memorable too. People can catch you live. Really hot live shows from what I've heard. I'd like to see one of those sometime too.
Yeah, I'm hoping at some point next year when I, get home and really get my hips stronger and kind of rest up from the last couple years of touring and the surgery, I'll get out and start doing my own shows again, I'm sure, by next summer or fall.
No trampoline though, right?
Well, the surgeon said that would be quite irresponsible at this point. And, the surgery, believe me, it was not it was a very heavy-duty thing, and the point is to hang on to the new hips, not to destroy them.
Exactly.
Really be cut in half again. So I'm not sure you'll see the trampoline anytime soon.
Hey man, you got to be up and around, and I'm proud of you for going through such a heavy-duty ordeal and then returning to the road in the style that you have. So.
Well, thanks. It's been a great journey, and Amy I found a surgeon in New York, Paul Polici, to do both at once. He was great, and Amy moved back east and moved into the hospital with me, and fortunately I had some great therapists, doctors, help all the way around. It was a great experience, even though it was a scary one. I had great people looking after me, and now the job's mine to do the rehab right and just keep getting stronger, which so far I'm on a pretty good track.
Ah, well, and you've gotten to do a whole lot of work too, which ain't bad, brother.
Yeah, no, I'm thrilled for the work. I love the E Street Band with Bruce out front. It's a historic thing, and if you love to perform as a musician, which I do, you couldn't find a better band to be with. So I'm excited. We've got another couple dozen shows ahead of us, and excited they're coming up soon.
Take care, Nils, and I wish you a lot of luck. I hope I get to see you at the MSG shows. And
sounds great, Dave. The best, and aloha, everyone there in Hawaii. Thanks for the support. Appreciate you letting people know what I'm up to.
My pleasure. I like that the dogs are chiming in there right at the end, too.
Yeah, man, we got a brood of them here.
Take care, Nils.
All right, all the best, Dave. Take care.
Aloha.
Aloha.
How you doing, everybody? It's Nils Lofgren from the E Street Band. We're all cruising here with our dear friend Dave Lawrence. Keep on rocking.